Hello, welcome back, boys and girls. Today we have a remarkable book. Today's story is called Madison Miles and the Big Big Move, written by Dara Nichole, illustrated by Richard Merrill. Now, this wonderful book is about a sweet little girl called Madison, whose dad just got a new job, and the whole family has to move out to another state. How would Madison cope with this big move? Now, let's see what happens. Let's get started. I could not believe that we were moving. I really did not like packing up all of my stuff to move to the coldest place on earth. What did I ever do to my parents for them to move us to Michigan? I brought home good grades, I paid attention in school, and I even stopped talking back to Mama. Well, I was at least working on it. But still, Michigan though? Why couldn't we move to California? Now, Mama and Daddy took me out there last year for summer vacation, and they couldn't get me off the beach. I was so cute in my purple swimsuit and my braids too. But Michigan? Ugh, I was so mad. Now, just then, Mama looked back at me. Maddie, do you have your book bag all packed up? It's almost time for us to head out. Now, I was sitting on my favorite red couch for one last time. Legs crisscrossed, applesauce, while my mom was frantically packing up her blankets and pillows from last night. Now, she was acting so crazy that she didn't even realize that I had my feet on the couch with my gym shoes on. Now, I was going to miss this couch. My mama said we couldn't take it because it was here when we got here. Now, 3 years ago, Daddy took a job and his company gave us something called corporate housing. Now, the company pretty much paid for us to stay in this house and gave us the furniture. So my pretty fluffy bright red couch had to stay. And the pretty picture with red orange lilies had to stay. And of course, my cool purple room that Daddy painted just for me was gone forever. Now, today was the big day, and Mama kept saying, but for me, it was a miserable day. Mrs. Fenton, my fifth grade teacher, had taught me the word miserable. It was on my last spelling test. I had spelled it wrong, but now I knew. Now, Daddy had already left 6 months ago to start his new job in Detroit. Mama and Daddy agreed that we would stay behind until the lease on our house expired. Luckily, Auntie Renee and Uncle Earl were here to help Mama with me and Marcus Jr. Even though we miss Daddy, He was so excited about his new position. He had gotten a new job title and everything. Production Development Engineer. Now, when we got the good news, they both jumped up and down. Well, at least Daddy did. Mama was still pregnant with Marcus Jr., my little stinky brother. Now, soon after Mama had Marcus Jr., Daddy had to leave. He left us with a little monster. Now, I wish Daddy would have taken Marcus Jr. with him. But now, it was time to leave, and I was sad. Mama tapped up the box labeled linens on the front. I don't see why. We had to open all the boxes when we got to Michigan. Anyway, so what did it matter if it said linens or Marcus's ugly baby clothes on it? We had to take it anyway. I knew not to say that out loud though. I was trying not to talk sassy to Mama. Maddie, can you grab Marcus' bag for me? I'm gonna go put this box in the trunk. Mama, I don't think you should be lifting that. And I looked over sternly at my mom's short, thin body, trying to pick up and carry the linen box. It was almost double her size. She was always doing crazy stuff like that. And I remember she wanted to do a marathon when she was pregnant with Marcus Jr. She had been training for it for a long time, and Daddy had to finally talk her out of it. I loved my mama for her ambition. Ambition was also a spelling word on my last spelling test, but sometimes Mama was a little crazy. My mama thought she was superwoman. Madison, I'll be fine. I'll be right back. Wait by the door just in case Auntie Renee calls. Now my phone is over there, okay? And as she pointed to the coffee table, a big smile came across my face as I thought about Auntie Renee, my favorite auntie in the whole wide world. Auntie Renee was my mom's oldest sister and the best cook ever. She had two daughters too. Our oldest, Janae, was about to go to college, and our youngest was Gianna, my best friend in the whole wide world. Gianna was 13 and the coolest girl I knew. Now, the only reason my mom even came to Atlanta was because Auntie Renee was already here. Now, Mama went to college down here years ago, and she met my dad, and they fell in love and got married. And now we are moving to horrible Michigan. So irritating. The only good thing about Michigan was that my nanny and papa lived there. Now we visited them like once a year, and it was always cold, even in the summer. But I did have my own room, so I guess that was a plus. And as soon as Mama got to the car, a phone rang. And I picked it up and saw my auntie's beautiful picture on the phone. Hey, Auntie Rere! Hey, baby, how are you? I was going to miss seeing your face. I'm okay, Auntie. You know I could just stay here with you and just go up to Detroit later. Now, baby, we had this conversation multiple times. You gotta go with your mama. You know I love you to pieces, and Gianna is really going to miss you. But Michigan is your new home now. I sighed as she grew silent. Now, this was the first time I think it both hit us that we weren't going to see each other almost every day. And it hurts. I know, Auntie. I just love you all. I love my school. And I love my friends. And I don't want to start all over again. Well, honey, think of it as a new beginning. I promise I will come visit and make you a sweet potato pie, just like you like. How does that sound? And I smirked as I thought about eating a fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, and sweet water, cornbread on Sundays, and drinking a sweet tea on hot days after school, and her singing loud in the kitchen on Saturday mornings, waking up Gian and me. Yeah, I was going to miss her. Sounds good, Auntie. Good. Now, where's your mama, girl? Auntie Renee said. She's coming back in the door now. Here you go. And then my mom walked in, looking tired. I wasn't surprised because that box looked heavy, and my mom caramel colored skin was so pretty. Now, Daddy called her his little butterscotch, and she would always giggle. She was also half the size of my daddy and the skinniest woman that I had ever seen. And I always wondered if I was going to look like her when I grew up. Now my mom grabbed the phone and plopped onto the couch. Hey Renee, are you on your way? Now Auntie Riri was going to drive us in our car to the storage place to put our stuff up and then take us to the airport. And my mom tried to make the best of it for me. Now she bought me some sweet purple headphones to listen to my music on the plane. And they were all glittery and cute. And she gave them to me the day Daddy had left to start his new position in Detroit. Now it was a sad day when he went to the airport. Mama jumped out of the car really quickly to give Daddy a hug and a kiss and wouldn't leave the airport until he got all the way inside. And once we got back in the car, she told me to go look in the trunk. And there was a beautiful glittering package for me to open. It made me so happy. All right, Maddie, get your stuff. Auntie Ray and Gianna should be here in like 15 minutes. And I'm gonna go change and then I'll be back down. And so Mama ran up the stairs and left me downstairs with Marcus Jr. He was so annoying. Now, the one thing Daddy could have taken with him was Marcus Jr. He was a pain in the you-know-what. He cried so much, and all he did was stare at me. And I tried to make him laugh and play with him, but he just always looked at me like I was crazy. Yep, he could have left early. Chapter 2. Now, as soon as we walked outside, Auntie Ray pulled up with Uncle Earl and Gianna. Auntie Ray got out of the car and walked slowly over to my mama. Even though they were sisters, they were different. Auntie Ray was tall with short curly hair, and she had the same skin complexion as Papa. And my auntie and mom were super close and spent a lot of time together. Gianna, can you believe this? This is really happening. And I walked over to her with the saddest face that I could muster. Gianna was always so laid back though. The night before, we talked over the phone for like 2 hours, and she let me complain while she just listened. And I could feel her rolling her eyes at me through the phone because she thinks I'm two things all the time. She thinks I'm dramatic and sassy. And she told me that she was gonna get me a shirt that said sassy but classy on it. And I rolled my eyes at that stupid joke. Now the wind whipped through her jet black French braids as she strolled over to me and put her long, lanky arms around my body. I was so short compared to her. It's going to be all right, cousin. We will see each other in a few months. Now she tried to release me from the hug, but I wouldn't let her go. Maddie, seriously? You are not moving to China, just Michigan? You know my mom and I go up there at least 3 times a year. We will be up there so soon. You won't even have a chance to miss us. And I finally released my death grip on her. And I took a deep breath and then I stepped back. You're right. I'm just gonna miss you. And Gianna grinned as the light hit her skin. And she reached down in her pocket and pulled out a small box. I'm going to miss you too. That's why I got you this. And I squealed in excitement. I love gifts. Oh my gosh, Gianna, thank you. And I opened the box and inside was a locket. And on the inside, there was a picture of me on one side and a picture of her on the other side. And I jumped up and down. Now Gianna rolled her eyes and smiled. It's going to be weird with you not being here, but it's cool. I know you won't forget me. And I hugged her again as she stood there, frozen, with her arms down to her sides. And she acted like she didn't love me, but I knew it was all fake. I looked over to see my mom and aunt hugging as well. And we decided to walk over there to see what we were doing next. And they hugged for what seemed like forever. And then they finally let go. Hey, Auntie! And I stood next to my mom and I waved excitedly. Now I was suddenly engulfed in a massive hug by her. And I slowly breathed in her favorite flowery perfume. And then I closed my eyes. And at the same time, a smile came over my face. I did not want to leave her. Maddie, it's going to be okay. My mom rubbed my back as I held tightly to my hands. And I could hear the cracking in my mom's voice as she tried to hold back tears. All right, let's pull ourselves together. And Auntie Ray released me from her hug and wiped her tears. Let's take a few pictures before you guys go. We should have enough time to get some ice cream at your favorite place before we take you to the airport. Now, that was a silver lining. And Mama grabbed Marcus Jr. from the car seat, and we all walked over to the old oak tree in the front yard. The shade was cool, and the breeze ripped through my curls. And even though the wind was blowing, it was still hot. And that was Georgia for you. And I leaned back on the tree as Mama stood next to me, holding Marcus Jr. up. And Auntie made some baby noises, and immediately Marcus Jr. started smiling. And at least he was smiling for her. If Mama would have given him to me, I'm sure he would have tried to punch me in the face or stare at me really hard. I really believed he hated me. Oh, let me take the picture. Come on, Gianna, Auntie Riri said. Now Gianna, looking a tad bit irritated, tried to muster a smile. This was not a thing, but she was doing it for us. Do a silly face, my mama yelled enthusiastically, and I closed my eyes and stuck my tongue out. All right, funny faces on 3. 1, 2, 3, Mama said. Our pictures were so cute and funny, and we laughed all the way to the car. Oh, sis, it won't be the same here without you, Auntie Riri said to Mama. Same goes for me too, babe. But don't worry, I know you will come to visit us soon. Yes, I can't wait to see how you set up your new home. Now, my mama did love decorating, and she was good at it. But Auntie didn't realize that wherever she was home for us. What a wonderful, wonderful story. Now, to read the other chapters of this book, please see the link in the description below. Thank you for joining us again, boys and girls, for this wonderful story. We thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you soon.